As someone who grew up gaming on PlayStation and who loves the Uncharted series, when I saw this Limtoys Nathan Drake, I knew I had to get it. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. You can probably already see that the box looks pretty cool, and I love that coin on there. But actually, one thing I noticed just holding it, yeah, there's something really awesome on the back. So I'm excited to get into the light box because, man, Nathan Drake is such a cool character. Just, yeah, if you haven't played the games, I would highly recommend them. But I can tell you a little bit more about how much I love the games as we look more at this figure, because I got to get this in the light box and unbox it. As you all know, every good unboxing must start with the box, and we have an awesome one today. You can see the gold coin right up here, and you can actually feel it, which there's actually a cool feature with it, which we'll get to once we actually take the slip cover off. But on the slip cover, you can see the whole jungle around it. You see all these like leaves and trees and bushes and everything. That is so cool. But let me actually take the peel off it real quick. And now it looks even better. I mean, mine has a little dent in it, but this is like just a little slip cover, so it's not the most important piece, but wow. Yeah, that looks great. You can see it's pretty dark, but yeah, that's part of the slip cover. On the side, you can see a bunch more of like the bushes and everything. Going to the back, there's something really cool, which I'll show you when we take the slip cover off. And yep, same on that side. Nothing really on the top. Then on the bottom, that's where you can find a bunch of the info. But now let me show you this real quick. I dimmed the lights a little just to make it a little easier to see. Hopefully you can see that. You see it's like skull, and then as you slide more, it changes. There's like some people, where the heck that is, a dagger with an arm, the same thing, some more people. Yeah, then you can kind of see the Limtoys logo, and then, yeah, like the little judgment thing. Man, yeah, there's skull and crossbones again. Yeah, this is so cool. I love that when you slowly slide it, you just see it like constantly changing. That is so cool. I absolutely love that. But once the slip cover's off, you can see it's a little less cool. It's like a bunch of lines and stuff in there. You can feel them, but yeah, it just looks so cool when you slide it and it just turns into all the images. That is just, oh, I love that. Then that piece is on like a piece of parchment looking type thing. It's all kind of wrinkled and dirty. And if you can translate that, if you can see that, please do. And oh my gosh, okay. It looks like I accidentally opened the box a little. I guess the sides are magnetic and a little secret coin rolled out. Okay, let's flip it. So you can see a little version of the big coin rolled out. Let's set that to the side so we don't lose it. But wow, this is impressive. This whole piece is like a giant map. You can see Limtoys down there, and then I guess it just magnetically comes off. Wow, this is so cool looking. Let me just pan through it for you guys real quick. That is so awesome. You see like the compass, Limtoys. Oh, that's just fantastic. Then actually on the back of it, there's like this awesome looking design. It's like, maybe this is actually a backdrop for him. That'd be kind of cool. You see like the Limtoys logo down there. It's like a bunch of sculptures. That's an awesome image. And I guess, yeah, it still fits the coin. Then the other cool thing with this coin is that it rotates. Like they didn't have to do that, but that is so cool. I mean, it doesn't spin too well if you just go to flick it, but man, I'm loving this. You can tell that they love the figures that they make and they put in so much detail. I'm so happy. And then of course we have the little instruction book. I'll open it up and actually, yep, you see the pirate flag in there. Gosh, I'm just excited right now. I have their Limtoys, the Joel, Ellie, and Clicker that they're making from The Last of Us, the game versions on order. And I am just so excited for those to get in. I'm really excited to look at this one. This one looked awesome in all the photos. So I am so excited to actually get it in my hand and then, yeah, and just keep seeing what else to expect from this company. Because if they're really good and they keep making figures from franchises that I love, then yeah, I'll just keep picking them up because Joel, Ellie, and Clicker is on order. And yeah, let's see what else they make. But now we can kind of grab it by the coin and open this. And ooh, that is nice and padded. Look at that. They made a whole kind of like the DX style box that Hot Toys uses. And man, that looks great. That is actually kind of cool too. They put Limtoys Presents and then, you know, the figure, literally everything. That's so awesome. And I actually really like that they made it simple. They actually labeled everything. So now I can remember what it's called. And yeah, there's actually a cool little written piece there. Actually, you know what? Let me gently slide this out. And I love Uncharted and Nathan Drake so much that I'm going to read this real quick, but go ahead and pause and read it for yourself. And real quick, just so you can see the name of everything it comes with, so let me just pan through this real quick. Feel free to pause and read wherever you want. And then there's just a little piece here telling you to read the instructions and follow all the construction details during the assembly process. But oh yeah, I'm so excited for this. Let's grab him out gently. Okay. And then get that plastic off his face. He's kind of off looking to the side. And wow, that looks fantastic. He is very nicely weathered. You can see a bunch of muscle, even, wow, even some sweat on him. Man, this is going to be an awesome looking figure. I am beyond excited for this. Let's put him away, pull everything else out, and just take a look at everything. After I remove that top level of foam, because I'm just so excited to get to this figure and everything, I almost forgot to do that. And yeah, you can see a bunch of amazing stuff in there. So now I'm going to lay it all out and let's just look at it all. Yeah, we have a ton to look at today. Look at everything laid out here. Up first though, the boring accessories. We get some extra little buttons. I really hope none of his buttons come off because these are a pain to put back on. But onto the awesome accessories now. And the first one is this base. This is actually incredible. You can see it's that hexagonal shape, which is perfect for fitting it in the display. This is my favorite base shape if it's not a diorama style base, if you know what I mean. You can see there's a bunch of sculpted coins on here. You can actually feel, you see that it's like actually lifted. There's of course some wood and then some like mossy stone, and yes, everything you can feel. You can see the actual like kind of a sculpted version of the coin in the floor. Then my favorite part for the flooring of the base is right here. This is like part of that pirate ship, and you can actually see it's like hollow and there's some gold underneath. Oh, that's sick. I absolutely love that. Then up front, you can see it says Nathan Drake, but you can actually swap that out. So they also give you this little Uncharted 4, a Thief's End piece. This is cool. I'm not sure which I'm going to go for yet because I love the way Nathan Drake is written there, and this is going to be Nathan Drake. But at the same time, it's from Uncharted 4, so we'll test it out here in a second. But let's look at the base again. So they actually put a little slot for the different accessories on the base, and yeah, it's so cool. So actually at the moment, I'm replaying the Uncharted games, partially because I was hyped that this figure was coming in soon, but also because my fiance, she's never seen the games or played them or anything, and yeah, I'm playing them for her. She loved when I played The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 for her, so yeah, it was pretty much time to introduce her to Uncharted, because I love this game. And so right here you can see, which I already beat this one, Uncharted 1. This is like the whole temple where you get El Dorado from, and that just looks so cool. And then here, then you can see the mountain here, which I believe is the Himalayas. This is actually the game I'm currently on, Uncharted 2. You can see a bunch of the symbols, and man, if you remember the Yeti part and all that, I miss Tenzin. Dude was awesome. Then going over to this side, you can see it's really sandy, and you can see the whole city in there. Uncharted 3 is my first one, which, yeah, this is Uncharted 3, and man, I love that one, so I'm super excited to replay it. I can't remember the name of the city, but yeah, definitely remind me, because that's sick. You see every little detail in there. And then for Uncharted 4, you actually get something cool, which pegs in right here. So Uncharted 4, of course, was about finding Henry Avery's lost treasure, his ship and everything, and you get this pole, which you can see it's pretty cool, pretty wood looking, looks like wood. But on this, you actually put the pirate flag. Look at that. You can see the skull and crossbones. It's a very nice feeling velvety red, like kind of maroonish material. Man, that feels good. You can see this side of it's pretty tattered and torn and looks really nice. This is really nicely detailed. That's the side you're probably not really going to see, so it's fine. There's a little stitching in there. And then the front though, yeah, it just looks flawless. I love that. So this, you actually, there's a hole. You actually just peg it onto this. So you just slide that pirate flag in place. It, you know, you can wave it if you really want to. It's actually the really cool part. It's wired in the top. Look at that. You can actually bend it however you want and it just stays. So I'm excited to pose that, but for now, let's just peg it on. So there's just that little slot right there, and this just pegs in pretty easily like so. And honestly, it was a little bit of a tighter fit than I initially thought, but once you kind of wiggle it in there, just peg it in, it stays pretty well. And I went ahead and bent the pirate flag a little bit. One downside though, you can see the wire that came out. So that, I mean, you can kind of push it back in, but once you bend it a little bit, it starts to come out. So just keep that in mind when you bend it. You probably don't want to bend it too much so you don't see a wire at the end. But yeah, it is very nice they put a wire in there though. Just know that it has the potential of falling out, so just be careful. And then just to test it out, I put the Uncharted 4 little logo there over the Nathan Drake one. It looks cool. I do like the little elevation it gives for the actual mountain there. However, I am still kind of debating which I want to go for, because of course it's Nathan Drake, and of course it shows everything from each game on it, but it does say Uncharted 4 and technically it's Uncharted 4, so yeah, I just got to debate. Now what we'll do though is take each accessory that actually goes onto the base and put them on the base after we look at them. So up first we have the silver skull. I believe this one was a bonus treasure you could find in Uncharted 1. I don't think it related exactly to the main story, but basically the little callbacks to Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 that you get with this figure, you could actually find in Nathan Drake's attic in Uncharted 4 in the beginning of the game, which it was such a cool scene, getting to reminisce and just, yeah. It's awesome when you do that. Just definitely go play Uncharted 4 after you watch this. It's worth it, trust me. And you don't have much of an excuse anymore. I know it's not on Xbox, but on PC, you can play it. So yeah, definitely go do that if you don't own a PlayStation. But the Silver Skull's nice. It's called Silver Skull, but it's pretty much all black. You can see the eyes are a bit glossier. You can see them reflecting a little bit. Same with the nose. But it's basically just a skull painted black. It's a little hollow to fit on the base, but I like it. Looks pretty good. Since this is Uncharted 1, it goes on the Uncharted 1 stand, and it looks like what you do is you kind of set it on here and then slide it forward to where it pegs into the back of the skull. And yeah, that's in there pretty secure. Looks awesome. Next up for Uncharted 2, we have the dagger, also known as the Furba. This is sick. I loved seeing this dagger in the game, and having it now in my hands, of course, in 1/6 scale, is just so cool. Just look at every single little detail on it. You can see the little blue up there for like the little crystal up in the forehead of that creepy looking face. Man, there is so much detail in this. All the little swirly bits down there in the blade, and it's pretty pokey. And man, I love the little tri blade. I would not want to get stabbed by that. Just wow, this is incredible. And of course, this one goes with the Uncharted 2 base. You just kind of peg it in there like that. Don't want to push it too hard, I don't think. You don't want to like flatten the end of it, but yeah, it just kind of sits in there like so. Now for Uncharted 3, you get the cipher disc. So this was awesome. You put his ring right there in the middle. And of course, I believe he lost the ring in Uncharted 3. It went right into the desert, like right in when the whole city sunk. So I guess spoiler alert, but at this point, if you haven't seen Uncharted or played it or anything, just go do that. It's so good. But this is finally detailed. It actually reminds me of the Dial of Destiny that came with that Indiana Jones figure we reviewed from Dial of Destiny. And yeah, that's awesome. It doesn't move or anything, but yeah, I love that. This looks so good. This one, of course, goes with this little Uncharted 3 stand here, and it doesn't really peg in. It just kind of rests. Yeah, it just kind of sits there and rests up against the edge. So yeah, that looks cool. I'm loving this so far. I'm having so much fun with this figure, and I haven't even looked at the figure yet. I'm just so excited to look at all the details on the figure because man, these accessories are hyping them up right now. And here is the cross from the 4th game. I believe you actually break this in the game to get something out of it, which is pretty cool. You see it actually says something on there. Definitely translate for me if you know what that actually means. Of course, you probably translated in the game, but I am not on Uncharted 4 yet. I'm on Uncharted 2, so I'll get there when I get there. This cross is just so nicely detailed. I mean, look at that. Wow. I'm just so impressed by everything so far. Limtoys is doing an amazing job. And of course, for this one, you just slot it in here, let it kind of rest right there, right under the flag. And yeah, we've got everything in there. Sorry, didn't really have that on camera much, but there you go. So now you can see Uncharted 1, 2, Uncharted 4 logo, Uncharted 3, and Uncharted 4. Just all the cool accessories. This is honestly one of my favorite bases I ever have. I know I'm very nostalgic to the games, and I absolutely love the Uncharted series, but man, even though it's not like a big diorama or anything, just having the accessories on there like that, it's just, it's just perfect. So I got a little excited there looking at the base, and I also completely forgot to talk about the little different grabbers it gives you. So Hot Toys needs to start following Limtoys here because they give you a crotch grabber and a flight pole. That's just, that's perfect. I don't know how much I'm going to use the flight pole, but they also, of course, give you the waist clamp. So you actually go on the flight pole. I'll probably do a pose or two with it, have them up in the air, like maybe throw on the grappling hook. Although I don't know if it unravels yet, but yeah, this is just perfect. And of course, we'll take the little crotch grabber and pop it in the base, and it just slides in so nice. That was so satisfying. Limtoys is killing it right now. I am so excited for more figures from them. Next up is Henry Avery Saber, and this, it's incredible. So the blade, it's actually die cast. This is my first die cast weapon. Hot Toys, nothing that I own from them is die cast, except for, of course, Iron Man. But weapon accessory wise, they never do that. And this is actual, yeah, it's a little hefty. It doesn't really bend. This is so cool. I know most of this video is probably me just gushing over how excited I am, but yeah, I'm a huge Uncharted fan, and this figure for me, it's a grail. Of course, if Limtoys or someone else gives us a Nathan Drake in the actual Uncharted 3 outfit, because personally, right after the plane crash and stuff, his look there, that is my favorite look for him. But until I actually get something like that, then this is gonna do it for me, and man, I'm just so happy right now. Look at all the detail in the little handguard down there. You see the green crystals, the red crystals, and man, it's so golden, and you see all the like kind of brushing in there a black for weathering, and the blade is so nice. There's not a lot of weathering on the blade, which is fine because it's die cast, but there's a little bit of speckling. And man, yeah, this is great. You can feel all the texture on the actual handle. This is, wow, I'm just so happy. Limtoys, they're amazing. This is my first figure from them, but man, I was pretty disappointed I missed out on their Arthur Morgan and their John Marston. But honestly, maybe I gotta track those down on the aftermarket, because if their figures turn out this good every time, I need all of them, because wow. Oh, this is great, and I haven't even looked at the figure in detail yet, so I need to stop gushing. Apologies for all the gushing, but I am just loving this figure. So for the hands, we'll start off with these forearms, and actually for the right side, you get a full seamless forearm. This one's a pistol grip in hand, and just wow, there's something about it too. The way the plastic feels and just the skin texture, it just feels super premium. I don't even know how to describe it. It just, there's something about it when you have it in hand and you feel just this arm. It's so good. You can feel the actual veins and the muscle. Like, look at the muscle definition, and wow. The way these go on is with a magnet. There's a little magnet in there, and that's also great. You don't have to pop anything off or anything, and eventually over time the friction wears out or something like that. But yeah, that's great. You can see the little lines there for his wrist. So now looking real quick at the pegged hand, you can see the peg there, which I don't like. I don't think I'm going to use this arm at all. It's probably going to go back in the box. Looks great, but that peg ruins it for me. And you do get some swap out hands for it. So it has a closed fist on it now, but you get a trigger finger hand. You actually get a kind of gripping hands. Yep. And then a relaxed style hand for it. And we'll actually take this relaxed style hand and look at it in a bit more detail. You can see all that skin texture and the vein work. This is great. He has a darker skin tone than what I initially expected, but considering he's an explorer and he's out in the sun a ton, you know, it makes sense. And you also get a couple swap out left hands. These both have that ring on it. It's a very nice silver shiny chrome paint, and it's kind of a more open, kind of maybe grasping style hand, and then you get a kind of a closed holding style hand. And then on the figure for the left hand, you get a relaxed style. And the reason you don't get a swap out forearm for this one that's seamless is because of the watch. You can move the watch up or down however you need, and it just hides the wrist peg perfectly. So you're not going to see it, and that's fantastic. And then of course on the right, you get a full seamless forearm that's relaxed. So the one thing I see from this though is that if I want to use a saber, I do have to use that pegged arm with the actual grabbing hand. Maybe I could put it in the left hand, but we'll just have to see when we get there. And real quick, since we haven't looked at it yet, you get a die cast coin. This is real metal. It feels fantastic, and it's so detailed. It is so small, but you can see the skull and crossbones on it, all the additional detail. This just looks so good. They're killing it right now. Limtoys, they're giving me the most fun I've had with an unboxing experience, because yeah, maybe it's just nostalgia, maybe it's because I love Uncharted, but this is just so much fun. Next up, we'll take a quick look at his notebook, and being very careful, you have to actually slide the little band off. It's an elastic kind of rubber bandy material. Don't stretch it or pull it too much, but it seems like you'll be able to get it back on. This notebook looks fantastic, and man, it feels nice and like basically kind of like a leather. It's not real leather, I don't think. Not 100% sure on that, but you can see they have Nathan Drake embossed in the bottom, the ND. Not sure what that says. Definitely let me know if you know. But to see every page in the book, you're definitely gonna have to pick up your own figure, but let's look at a couple. They actually put everything in here. That is fantastic. After this review, I'm probably gonna sit and look at every page of this book, but man, this is great. They just printed on every page. Wow, I'm sure if I play the game again, once I get to Uncharted 4 and open up the notebook, I'll see every single one of these pages, because that's just how good Limtoys is apparently. And yeah, I love that little notebook. It's such a cool accessory. Now we'll just take a quick look at his grappling hook. We'll of course put it on the figure, but it feels kind of a little waxy, kind of along the actual rope. And you can see there's like a little clamp here to hold it together. I don't really want to undo it because I don't want to risk it. It'd be cool to pose him throwing it, but I guess that's not really doable with this. You can see they also kind of knotted it here, so definitely leave it together. You can take it apart if you really, really want to. I just would not recommend that. But the actual grappling hook, you can open up the edges, and looking at all the detail in there, you see like a nice rust kind of look. It's actually a nice charcoal silvery, like black color. And this, once again, because I'm just gushing over this figure because it's like my second third party I've gotten, and the first one wasn't amazing. So seeing this one just gives me so much more hope for all the other third parties I'm planning on getting. You of course also get the little railroad spike. It's a nice orange color with a bunch of dirt on it that he uses to help assist his climbs. It's pretty pointy and pretty dirty on the end where he actually sticks into the rocks to help climb, but that looks great. Then it's not functional, which would be cool if it was, but you get his little flashlight. I believe this magnetically attaches to him. We'll see in the next section. But you can see there's what appears to be a little bulb in there. Then it's actually pretty dirty and glossy in there. Man, it'd be cool if it lit up, but I understand why it doesn't. But that looks great. Now we can take a look at his handgun from the game, and I believe this one's a Beretta. The slide doesn't seem to work, but it looks so good. You see all the handle detail and you can feel all that. You see the little flathead screws. You can even see the little red dot there for the safety. The trigger looks great. It's a little weathered, not too dirty, but there's some little speckling on it. You can, of course, also take the magazine out and you can see a little bullet detail in there. Looks pretty great, and it just slides right back in. Then you actually get his rifle from the game. This was one of my favorites to use. It was pretty powerful and just all around fun to use. I believe it's the HS39. So the instructions confirm this is the HS39 rifle, and it has a strap on it, which is awesome if you want to strap it around him, but I believe it's also magnetic. And you can see it's nicely weathered as well, just some speckling and stuff. Not crazy dirty, but just enough to look amazing. Of course, on this one as well, you can take out the magazine, and the bullet detail is a little odd on this one. Just see it near the end, but yeah, gets the job done. You can slide it back in there, and the coolest part is that you can actually bend the stock. So you can have it bent when he's using it or on his back, whatever you want. But that's just an awesome little feature. They didn't have to do that, but they did, and I love it. And finally, that is everything for the accessories. This figure so far is just so good. Of course, he comes with a swap out head sculpt. We'll look at it in the figure overview section right now. But you all can tell I am in love with this release. Eventually, I'll get over how awesome it is that I'm currently holding Nathan Drake in my hands. Or not, because this is just so awesome. Holding this figure in my hands just feels so good. I believe it's like a basically custom body. It's pretty hefty. And there's a whole bunch of like muscle detail. So you can see all that muscle detail in there around his neck. You can see in there for his pecs, and they're a little squishy. One thing I did notice is that, yeah, this whole area up here is pretty squishy around the neck as well. You can even see that he put in some sweat detail. You see a little bit of like droplets and stuff around him. That's so cool. There's even some veins around there. And then on this head sculpt, you can see the bit of glossy blood on the forehead and the nose. And man, that just looks like Nathan Drake right there. They even sculpted in his awesome haircut. You know, the hair flipped up in the front. You got a little hair hanging down. This is so good. Going down now, you see all the dirt on the shirt. This is very weathered. Same with the pants. The pants have a bunch of black in them. And man, this is flawless. I'm sure part of it's the nostalgia speaking. I'm sure part of it's just the excitement of having Nathan Drake in my hands right now. But this figure, man, this is just so good. You can even see through the shirt since it's slightly tight. The actual shoulder muscles, the biceps, like look at that. Wow. And of course, he always has his sleeves rolled up and it's bunched there, and he has ginormous forearms. He is always climbing, so it makes sense his forearms are just huge. You see that muscle definition, that vein work, and actually, he actually has some abs. I felt it a little bit ago, and yeah, they just gave him some abs. You can see the actual sculpted detail in there, even a little belly button. That's fantastic. Then, of course, on the other arm, it has a wrist peg, but it's hidden by that watch, and the watch has a nice glossy top. It's pretty silver, has a nice band kind of look. Yeah, that looks pretty great. It does get me a little excited to see Joel Miller's when he comes in because, of course, like I mentioned a whole bunch of times, I'm also getting the Last of Us figures by him, especially after seeing how good this one is. I already pre-ordered them, and now getting him in hands just makes me even more excited. Then Nathan Drake, of course, has his holster. I am not sure if it's real leather or not. I didn't really see anything, but let me know down in the comments if you do know. It connects around the back, and then of course you have the side for his pistol and his ammo and these pouches. It's pretty cool. These actually magnetically close. So if you want to, you can open them, stuff something in there, and then they just close with magnets. And speaking of magnets, he also has one in his pocket here that's meant for the flashlight. We'll put everything on him coming up in a minute, but let's just finish looking at the outfit first. Around the back, there's also a magnetic little holder there for the grappling hook. You actually slot the little spike in there. And he even has two magnets to hold the rifle, one here and one here. Now, continuing our way down to the boots. These boots look great, and yeah, he has socks on because, of course, Limtoys would do that. These boots are great. They have a nice leather look, and they even have a nice kind of feel to them. These are fantastic. On the bottom, there's some tread. He doesn't really have a lot of weathering for the boots, but everywhere else, he's just dirty. Of course, I am not going to take it off him, but the belt buckle looks like it's actually functional. And one thing I want to do, we all know Nathan Drake usually has like this side down, this side kind of tucked in. So if I get some little tweezers, probably after the video, because I know it's going to keep coming out, I'll probably get some tweezer and just stuff them in the pants a little just to give him that signature look. But now what we can do is take a look at that second head sculpt. So this head sculpt, yeah, the minute I took it out of the box, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I love the battle damage on the other sculpt, and just this one looks off to me. So yeah, just the way the mouse looks, it's kind of weird with like the lip up, and then the eyes seem a little off. Like this one's looking a little bit more that way. This one's looking a little more that way. I mean, that's not the best description, but you kind of see it. To me on this sculpt, the eyes look like they're just looking in slightly different directions. Yeah, this sculpt's okay. Well, let's put it on him. So taking his head off, you can see this little band around here. His head just holds on with friction, so that's kind of nice. You don't have to worry about popping anything. It just goes in there nice and neat. And then now he has that head sculpt on. I mean, it doesn't look too bad on the body. Maybe I'll use it for some action poses because it's a little bit more actiony than the other. But yeah, I definitely prefer the battle damage. Now let's actually gear him up. So first for the rifle, you can, of course, fold it if you want, but this, you can plop onto his back, either that side or that side. I'm gonna maybe put it like that for now. You can, of course, put the strap around him too if you want, but for now, I'll just leave it with the magnet because, yeah, we're gonna be posing him after this. Then for the railroad spike, this just slides in here, goes in like so. Just be careful sliding it in so you don't bend or break this actual pouch, but it goes in there and holds pretty nicely. And then the grappling hook goes on like so. The magnet just kind of holds it there. It hangs pretty low and looks pretty great on him. Then next up is the flashlight. This one's easy. Just plop it in there and it holds. So you can maneuver it a little bit to have it kind of facing out, facing in, whichever way you want. Then the pistol, let me slot in the holster. And it just slots in there pretty easily. Now Nathan Drake is geared up. Got flashlight, pistol, grappling hook, little climbing tool, the rifle. So now it's time for the part I've been waiting the whole review for. It's time to pose him up. For the first pose, I wanted to use the flight pole because honestly, the only reason you probably get it is so you can have him in a jumping pose like this. This pose, I gotta admit, it's incredible. He looks so good. He's got his arm reaching out like he's gonna grab something. He's holding the rifle in one hand. He's all geared up with everything. Man, it just looks like it's straight out of the game. And especially that head sculpt with the mouth a little bit open. It looks like, I guess he's a little bit more kind of strained. So I guess that's why you actually get that head sculpt, because it makes him look a little bit more strained. You know, his eyes are looking for, he's leaping forward. He's got his mouth kind of, the teeth clenched. So in a pose like this, the head sculpt actually looks pretty good. And this is the only pose I'm going to do with the actual flight pole and potentially that head sculpt. We'll see. So now let me put the crotch grabber back in and move on to the next one. For this pose, I wanted to test how well the figure stood on his own. And this is where some of the flaws started to show. So in order to use the grabbing hand for the sword, you have to use the hand with the visible peg. It kind of sucks, but at the same time, I don't really plan on him using the sword like permanently in my display when I'm either reaching for or holding the handgun. So for me, it's not a big deal, but just note that if you want to have him holding something with his right hand, you have to use that visible pegged forearm. He does decently stand on his own, but I will admit his joints down there for the feet, they're a little loose, so they're easy to bend. So if you kind of push it a little bit, they'll just bend quickly and he'll just fall over. So just be careful if you have him posed without a base. But for me, I always end up using the bases. Then another not really issue, but because the sword is die cast, it's a little heavier. So his arm might droop down a little bit more. That's what I noticed when I first put it on him. So it drooped his arm down a little bit, not a ton. You can always adjust and stuff, but since there's a little bit of weight there, just keep that in mind. And the last kind of annoyance I found is there's no rolling eyeballs. It'd be cool if you had rolling eyeballs, but since he doesn't, you can't really adjust it. So he's permanently in this type of look. For the final pose, I have Nathan kind of drawing his pistol and also holding that notebook. So that left hand, there's kind of like a grabbing hand that actually perfectly fits a notebook. So that looks really good. I honestly am kind of struggling to figure out which pose to do in my collection because he looked really good up in the air, but it might be a little too tall for where I want to put him. Then he also looked good holding the sword, but then I also don't want to use that peg hand. And then here he also looks awesome, kind of drawing the pistol, but I also kind of like the rifle. So it's going to be a tough one, but I might experiment with some posing a little after this video and just, figure out what's going to go in my collection. Just, watch my weekly collection update when it comes out so you can see which pose I ended up going for. But now, although you guys can probably already tell how I feel about this figure, let's go talk about it. So it's time for my final thoughts, but you could probably tell I absolutely love this figure. I know I'm probably biased because I grew up playing Uncharted and I'm a big PlayStation fan, but man, you guys saw him. You cannot deny that this figure is just incredible. I think that Limtoys deserves to get some licenses for some figures because I mean, this is third party, unlicensed, and this is better than honestly some Hot Toys. This is just so good. And one thing you could probably see is that Nathan Drake kind of inspired my favorite shirt type. I think they're called Henleys, you know, with all the buttons up here with basically what he's wearing right now. And as a figure, Nathan Drake is just incredible looking. Those seamless forearms, just all the accessories, that base is stunning. It is so good looking. Then the fact that they use some die cast on the coin and the sword just to give it that extra premium feel, man, I'm just so impressed by this. I think that if you're an Uncharted fan, you need to buy this Nathan Drake. Even for me, although Uncharted 3 is my favorite and this is the Uncharted 4 version, he's just so good. You get something from every single game and man, yeah, this is just an iconic look for him. This figure has made me even more excited to get in the Limtoys Joel, Ellie, and the Clicker from The Last of Us because man, those ones are gonna be good. This one, yeah, they knocked it out of the park with this one, and considering they're also making The Last of Us and who knows what else, yeah, we're in for a treat with Limtoys. This was my first Limtoys figure, and although they're third party, I think they're here to stay. I am so interested to see what else they come out with. If they make like a Kratos or something, that'd be sick. I would go for that instantly. I know they made Arthur Morgan and then John Marston. Those ones I kind of want to track down because they have so many accessories with them, and just if their figures are going to look this good, I think I need to support them. Of course, not everything's perfect, and I called out a couple flaws like no rolling eyeballs, the ankle joints are a little loose, and then in order to have like a holding hand and stuff, you had to use that pegged hand, which didn't look great. But then again, Hot Toys and stuff, most of them don't even give you seamless forearms, so that's fine. And the figure's body and stuff, it just feels premium. It's hard to describe, but just if you pick them up, if you ever have the chance to hold this figure, just pick it up, kind of hold the body, you know, feel around it, feel the actual like arms and stuff, and man, yeah, it feels premium. They made this body specifically for this figure, or at least that's what it seems like to me, and they knocked it out of the park. So this is a fantastic figure. If you like Uncharted, like I said, just buy it. Even if you are kind of iffy on it, just buy it. You're not going to be disappointed. He's an awesome figure. So definitely let me know what you think about this figure down in the comments. Let's talk about it down there. Let me know if you are a big Uncharted fan like me, which is your favorite game, and let's just discuss it, you know? I mean, maybe you're excited for the Uncharted 2 movie, because the Uncharted 1 movie, I kind of liked it. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a like. If you enjoy 6 scale figures or anything like that, definitely hit subscribe because I do tons of that over here. We have a ton of fun. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, month, week, all of the above. And until next time, stay 6 scale.